The JSerra cross country and track program has made quite a name for itself. Today we'll meet their head coach and 4 of their outstanding athletes. Their head coach, Marty Dugard, is not your typical coach. He's a best-selling author, a father, and a leader of very talented athletes. JSerra has quite a story to tell. They share it with us today. I'm Paul Higgins. This is Coach's Corner, and all the action starts right now. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins and welcome to this edition of Coach's Corner. As you can tell in the opening of the show, we do have a fantastic show. Coach Marty Dugard from JSerra Catholic High School joining me. Today we're going to talk about cross country and also track and field. Marty brings along 4 fantastic athletes, and we'll talk about them in just a second. Including on the set right now is Luke Wattenberg. He's on his way to the University of Washington, of course, after he graduates from JSerra Catholic High School. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. But first and foremost, many of you might know that Marty is a best-selling author. We'll talk to him about that. But also, he's been at JSerra Catholic High School now for 10 years. In that 10-year run in the sport of cross country, 3 state championships, 4 CIF championships, and also 5 Trinity League championships. In the sport of track and field, on the individual side, he has coached 4 CIF champions and 1 state championship. And Marty, first and foremost, congratulations on all the success. We have talked about this before, but we'll talk about it again today. The fact that you have been here 10 years, you've racked up all these accolades, but you said it didn't always start out that way.
No, I mean, we started off with 4 athletes, and as I mentioned to you before, when I took the job, they said that I had 4 people who might be able to finish a cross-country race, and winning was not part of the equation, and it was touch and go there for a couple of years. But then, we kind of turned a corner. We increased the mileage a little bit. We increased the intensity of the workouts. We started building a program instead of just building a season-by-season team.
Right.
I spent a lot of time educating myself, even though I've been a lifelong runner. I took the time to learn more about running from a coaching point of view and some of the methodology behind it. And kind of all came together.
Yeah, and you do a fantastic job. And,
Thank you.
And not talking about running, but Luke, you throw the discus. And as Coach said, you're very modest about it because you are a defending CIF champion in the discus. Tell me, how'd you get involved in that? And what do you like most about throwing the discus?
Well, I got into it in 5th grade after I quit baseball, and I joined a track team, and I didn't really want to run. So I started throwing the shot put and discus, and my career started from there.
And what is the joy factor out of that? It's I don't think people realize, and we talked about this, how difficult it is to throw the discus. I mean, there's a lot of technique involved.
Yeah, it's very technical, but I mean, it's very rewarding to, put all this hard work into it and then get a first place medal and win CIF and all that great stuff.
No doubt about that. And Coach, you and I, in our brief discussion, you said, you write in the morning and you coach in the afternoon. 2 totally different things. How do the 2 play into each other and the enjoyment factor of what actually you do?
It gives me a lot of balance. I think that writers that spend too much time alone get a little crazy. You kind of, the weird factor comes into it. And this forces me to, I've got to get out of my office by 2 o'clock. I have to get down to the school by 2:30. I have to, then I have to be engaged. I can't afford to be checked out. I can't afford to be in my own head.
Right.
I learn from the athletes. The athletes inspire a lot of my writing, and it comes together. It's a great balance.
Yeah, and speaking of your writing, you're in a great run right now. I mean, you've had the Killing Kennedys, Killing Lincoln, Killing Jesus, Killing Patton. You've worked with Bill O'Reilly. But before that, you wrote for Sports Illustrated, you wrote for GQ. You kind of jokingly said, hey, who would ever pay me a check? I'll write for it.
Yeah.
But you gained a tremendous amount of knowledge in the sports field and also about writing.
Sure. Well, it was a great way to see the world, too. I mean, my kids were really young. My wife was very patient with me, but during the early years of my career, just working the magazine stuff, I learned how to put together a story. You learn how to, I learned about the quality of a good edit, a good self-edit, and just the craft itself. At the same time, did a lot of travel. Spent a lot of time in the jungles of Borneo and China. Kind of got that out of my system, so now I'm much more of a homebody. So it was a good building block for a career.
Oh, absolutely, a great career going on right now for sure for Marty Dugard. Your thoughts? Recommend throwing the discus to a young freshman coming in?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great fun time out there throwing the discus. It's technical, but they'll get it eventually.
And you're going to do it again next year, right?
Yes.
You're going to have the opportunity to be alongside Dante Pettis when you get to the University of Washington.
Yes, I would like to throw.
That is going to be fantastic. Well, congratulations on your early success and your current success, because your story is still unfolding. And of course, we've got a great story to tell right here on Coach's Corner. 3 more athletes joining us on Coach's Corner representing JSerra, track and field and cross country. Up next, Ashley Geiser. She's a senior on her way to Nebraska. That and more right after this. Mission Basilica School is a Catholic parochial school with single-grade classrooms from pre-kindergarten through 8th grade.
We have absolutely the best to offer in education. We don't just educate the child academically. They are nurtured spiritually. They are guided through their spiritual journey. They are loved, every being of them.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano, Mission Basilica School.
Why go anywhere else for your remodel project when you can find everything here at Decor & Tile? Our expert staff has years of experience which is passed on to you whether you are a homeowner, contractor, or designer. At Decor & Tile, we make your project easy with our beautiful and unique showroom filled with tile, stone, decorative glass, wood tile, granite, and quartz like Pentel, Caesar Stone, and USA Cambria. Find out why Decor & Tile is the most referred showroom in South Orange County. Come in, call, or visit us on the web today.
At Olson Orthodontics in San Juan Capistrano, they want to see you smile, and it starts from the first visit.
On my very first appointment, before I left, I knew exactly what I was getting, how much it was going to be. They were incredibly friendly, so it just made sense. It was completely at home here.
Dr. Olson does an excellent job of making his patients feel comfortable.
Well, I was just really enjoying coming here and seeing him. I love to see Dr. Olson.
Call or visit Olson Orthodontics today. Hello everybody, welcome back to this week's edition of Coach's Corner. I'm Paul Higgins. Thanks so much for joining us, and of course we're talking cross country and track and field with head coach Marty Dugard. Joining us now is Ashley Geiser, and I mentioned as we went to the break, she is on her way with a scholarship to Nebraska, and congratulations on that. That is fantastic. Let me tell everybody what you've done to earn that. Not too bad in cross country. She has won the Trinity League 3 times in a row. In track and field, she competes in the 3200 and the 1600, pardon me. Coach, you have a good one right here.
I've got a great one right here.
Yeah.
She is, a lot of people don't know this, she's the most accomplished female athlete, perhaps the most accomplished athlete, period, in the history of JSerra Catholic High School.
Really?
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Something exceptional.
When you hear that, what does that make you think?
It's kind of happiness that I didn't start running until freshman year. I started with soccer, and then Coach Dugard's like, "You'll be varsity in 6 weeks." And I'm like, "You're crazy," but it came true.
I was right.
And Coach has said he's going to hold on to you for another year. Are you aware of that?
No.
That you're going to have to repeat your senior year?
Yeah.
I think another year of eligibility.
The opposite red shirt.
Yeah. Why did you recognize so early that she was going to be success?
Yeah, a lot of track and cross country coaches, if you see someone stride, and there's just something you just innately know. And I saw with the way she ran, I just knew from the start that she was going to be good. It was just going to be a matter of building that aerobic strength.
Yeah, Ashley, you run distance, not easy. And a cross country meet is much different than a 3200 and a 1600 when you're running around in circles. Tell me about the main difference mentally as you approach those two sports.
Mentally is when you're looking at a course, sometimes you're like, cross country has hills, which you're not really prepared for, especially when you hit Mount Sac. Yeah. A lot of people kind of die on that course. And then when you get to track, it's all flat, and people can see you like run and not have to go to different spots on the course to watch you. But you can like see your competitors in front of you the entire time, and you're not really stranded by yourself like on a cross country course.
Interesting. You know, I just got done covering the Ironman Puerto Rico, and the woman that won the race, we caught up with her. Of course, we were on the motorcycle. She's running because that's the only way we're going to keep up with her.
Yeah.
But she started singing in the middle of the race, and of course, it's a long run. Do you ever do funny things when you're out there, you know, either running in circles or running up and down these hills and cross country?
I usually get like a commercial stuck in my head. I once had the Goodwill commercial stuck in my head. It's It's sometimes a pain because you're like, I don't want this in my head.
That's funny.
Coach, how do you coach an athlete like this?
It's a delicate balance because at the same time she's still part of a team, so you can't pull her apart and make her feel like she's, a separate entity. At the same time, you have to coach that as a separate entity. You have to make the workouts maybe longer or harder. You have to maybe look at sharpening for the final meets of the season just a little bit differently than for the average athlete. But I think the biggest thing is you have to kind of nurture these athletes. You have to make them feel valuable. You have to switch it up every year so they don't say, oh, it's February 20th. This is what we do on February 20th. Right. It's something different every year, some new variable that keeps them engaged.
Do you ever get just mentally or physically exhausted? So I've had it. It doesn't appear that you're that type of athlete, but do you ever hit the wall and say,
Sometimes I've hit the wall pretty hard, but it's a matter of pushing through the wall and getting onto the other side and continuing the workout through whatever struggle, whether it's at home, at school. It's just getting through it all.
When you go into Nebraska, are there going to be certain things that you remember that Coach Marty Dugard said to you that you'll carry with you?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Keep pushing always.
There we go.
Keep pushing always. Now, have you gotten any of his books and read any of his books?
I have a few of his books, like How to Be a Runner. Yeah. And in the book it said 3:15 practice every day, but it's now 3 p.m. practice every day.
Yep. Hardigan wants the football field a little late. I don't know. That is so funny. Your thoughts about, I asked this to Luke, hey, would you recommend the sport, the element of throwing a discus to younger people coming into high school? Mm-hmm. What if you've never, run? You were in that. You were a soccer player. What do you say to those girls that might be thinking about it?
I would say do it. I know the first 3 weeks was the toughest, and I just wanted to go home like, no, don't drag me back out. Yeah. But I'm really glad I did because I got to meet so many new people and got to get to know Coach more. Yeah. So it's a
Make
great
sure you get his
experience.
autograph before you right? And he'll have to get your autograph.
Yeah, I think it's that way, yeah.
Real quick question. Goal at college, what would that be?
Try to make it to the Olympics. That's
Fantastic.
my new goal.
Well, I would love to be the first to have on a TV show that made it to the Olympics, so that would be awesome. Yeah. Ashley Geiser, of course, she in cross country, won in the Trinity League 3 times. She competes in the 3,200 and the 1,600 in the sport of track and field. Up next, we step it up again. Andrew Burkhart joins us from JSerra Catholic High School. He's pretty good at what he does as well. More of Coach's Corner right after this.
Why go anywhere else for your remodel project when you can find everything here at Decor & Tile? Our expert staff has years of experience which is passed on to you whether you are a homeowner, contractor, or designer. At Decor & Tile, we make your project easy with our beautiful and unique showroom filled with tile, stone, decorative glass, wood tile, granite, and quartz like Pentel, Caesarstone, and USA Cambria. Find out why Decor & Tile is the most referred showroom in South Orange County. Come in, call, or visit us on the web today.
At Olson Orthodontics in San Juan Capistrano, they want to see you smile, and it starts from the first visit.
On my very first appointment, before I left, I knew exactly what I was getting, how much it was going to be. They were incredibly friendly, so it just made sense. It was completely at home here.
Dr. Olson does an excellent job of making his patients feel comfortable.
Well, I was just really enjoying coming here and seeing him. I loved to see Dr. Olson.
Call or visit Olson Orthodontics today. Mission Basilica School, located in historic San Juan Capistrano, is a blue ribbon school focused not only on quality education but spiritual enlightenment, creating a learning environment that's second to none.
I love the feel of the school and what it brings.
They're wonderful kids, have great family lives. They are brothers and sisters once they reach the campus.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano. Hello everybody, welcome back to this week's edition of Coach's Corner. Again, we're talking cross country in the sport of track and field with Coach Marty Dugard, the best-selling author and also a great coach at JSerra Catholic High School over the last 10 years. He's got great athletes, that's why he'll tell you he's so successful. Joining us right now is another one of those great athletes, Andrew Burkhart, only a junior, And Andrew, you've done some pretty special things at JSerra. You won the Training League 3 times in track and field. Of course, you compete in the 3200, which your best time, you told me, is a 9:07. And the mile, he ran it in 4:19. You also did pretty good in Hawaii earlier in the year. Tell me about that.
That was one of my best races in cross country. It was like really good weather conditions. It was raining, so it was nice and cool. And it was a fast race, so there was people pushing me, and then at the end I just outkicked the guy who was right with me.
It was a fantastic finish.
My best
yeah.
time.
What was the name of that? How'd you say that?
I think it was Iolani.
Iolani, yeah. So, Coach, you get an opportunity to take these kids away from campus, and in a trip like that, I know it's fun, but you're also there to do well. How do you mix the two?
Well, you know, it's great. What we do is we stay on the North Shore, and we stay at a resort that's just got a lot of land to it. So basically, we have places to run. So we show up on a Thursday, we do a Thursday workout, a Friday workout. We race on a Saturday, but we just make sure that the focus is always on, you know, doing the workouts. We're not just there to screw around and see the sights, but we build an educational component into it too. We went to Pearl Harbor last year. This year, when we go back, we're going to do something else. But at the same time, it is fun. I mean, we're in Hawaii, so we try to keep it good. And then, you know, the team did so well. The girls' team won the girls' championship last year.
That's right.
When Andrew won the boys' race, it was just completely phenomenal because it was such an exciting race. And boy, what a day!
And we have the clippings from that also in the newspaper that you did. And you know, I have to ask you. You know, Luke goes, I got into discus because I didn't want to run. I didn't, you know, I was in track and field, but I didn't want to run, so I got in that. You run. Why do you run?
Well, I first started my freshman year, started running to get in shape for basketball, because basketball was my main sport coming in. But then I found out that I was a lot better at running, so then I quit basketball after my freshman year and just stuck with cross country and track. Coach,
when does it click with an athlete, and I'll ask you this too, that I'm pretty good at this?
Usually it's an element of surprise. Usually somebody goes out and all of a sudden they win a race that they didn't think they're going to win. Or there was a great moment at CIF prelims last year where I said to him, okay, here's the strategy, you're going to go out. And there was a guy from Big Bear named Caleb Webb who was probably one of the top athletes in the nation. And I said to Andrew, I said, you know, kind of stay behind him, you know, let him do the work. And next thing I know, he's running side by side with this guy through the first mile. And there was a moment where Webb looks over at Andrew like, who in the world are you? You know, and for me, that's when I knew that Andrew that's something special.
That's that aha moment, right?
That's that aha moment.
Yeah. Tell me about that, Andrew. Is that similar experience of that time, that moment?
Yeah, it was CIF. I think I got second in that race, and I wasn't expecting to really be able to compete with some of the other guys who I knew had been like a lot better than me my first 2 years running.
Let's talk about what you do in track and field, the 3200 and the mile. Two very difficult races, you know. Your thoughts about those two and how you approach it?
The mile is more of, it's not like a complete sprint, but it's faster, so it's kind of, if you don't start off really fast in the beginning, it's harder to catch up, where in the 2 mile you have 8 laps, so you have more time to catch up.
Do you like running in circles, or do you like running out?
I like cross country better, where you can run around and see things. That gets kind of boring running around the track sometimes. But
do you look forward to that Mount Sac race in a course like that?
I look forward to it because there's a lot of competition there, but I know it's also going to be a lot more difficult. But there's more people that can challenge me and I can run with that are going to be better than me, so I know they can push me.
And I don't know if you can answer this question yet, Andrew, or Coach, maybe you can. Scholarship offers, will they come, and are they coming? And that's probably something pretty special that you didn't think about when you were a freshman.
Nothing really yet, but hopefully it'll pick up in my senior year.
Yeah, he's gotten letters from all these guys. He's too modest. You know, Yale, Cal, you name it. Yeah, it's nice to see because you know what, when kids work this hard, you know, and what we do is not easy. It's nice when they get a letter from a big school, something that's going to, you know, be that little carrot to kind of get them to that next level.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. And I asked, of course, Ashley this, Luke this. What would you say to these incoming freshmen about the sport of cross country and track and field if they're on the fence of wanting to compete?
Well, it's really hard to, like the first month, I guess, it's really hard to stick with it. But once you establish kind of a base, it just gets a lot easier. And it always seems hard running at first because you don't think you can do it. Like my first day at practice, I was like one of the 3 worst kids out there for the guys' team. And then after a month or two, I was running with varsity. So it's like a big change that happens after the first month. So and there's going to be a lot of open varsity spots next year. So
yeah, well, that's awesome. You've done so well in such a short amount of time. Congratulations on the success, and good luck in the rest of the track and field and the upcoming cross-country season.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we have yet another excellent JSerra athlete. We'll tell you about her when we come back.
Why go anywhere else for your remodel project when you can find everything here at Decor & Tile? Our expert staff has years of experience which is passed on to you whether you are a homeowner, contractor, or designer. At Decor & Tile, we make your project easy with our beautiful and unique showroom filled with tile, stone, decorative glass, wood tile, granite, and quartz like Pentel, Caesarstone, and USA Cambria. Find out why Decor & Tile is the most referred showroom in South Orange County. Come in, call, or visit us on the web today.
At Olson Orthodontics in San Juan Capistrano, they want to see you smile, and it starts from the first visit.
On my very first appointment, before I left, I knew exactly what I was getting, how much it was going to be. They were incredibly friendly, so it just made sense. It was completely at home here.
Dr. Olson does an excellent job of making his patients feel comfortable.
Well, I was just really enjoying coming here and seeing him. I loved to see Dr. Olson.
Call or visit Olson Orthodontics today. Mission Basilica School, located in historic San Juan Capistrano, is a blue ribbon school focused not only on quality education but spiritual enlightenment, creating a learning environment that's second to none.
I love the feel of the school and what it brings.
They're wonderful kids, have great family lives. They are brothers and sisters once they reach the campus.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano. Talking cross country with JSerra Catholic High School, including in that is track and field. And joining us now is Tori Yanko. She is a senior at JSerra Catholic High School, but not for too much longer. She's on her way to UC Santa Barbara, and she will be running track and field and probably a little bit of cross country, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And you and I were just talking about it, the fact that when you first got into high school that you were a soccer player for 2 years, club soccer for like 7 years before that. What happened? How did you make the switch?
I actually tore my ACL my freshman year skiing, and after that I kind of had a little bit of a breakthrough and joined the track team, and Coach Dugard told me to go out for cross country my junior year, and I ended up really liking it, and I just completely switched sports.
And Coach, I just said that in the break that she runs the 3200 and also the mile, and you said that she's going to do pretty well in college.
She's going to do really well. You know, there's a 5-year arc to develop your aerobic strength to kind of start maximizing that. She's only 2 years in and she's already running some exceptional times. You know, 3 more years of college running, she could be one of the top athletes in the country.
Really?
Yeah, she's that good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, she's that good. Yeah.
With that said, the first thing, I got the chills, man. This is awesome. I got some great athletes on this show today. When Coach says that, you know, what pops in your head? Did something like the Olympics pop in your head, or? I mean, is that a pipe dream, or?
I don't like to set those kinds of goals for myself. I kind of like to go on a day-to-day basis about how I feel and focus on one race at a time. I don't know. I think because I'm so new to this sport, I don't entirely know everything that I could even do myself.
Maybe Tori doesn't know how good she actually is.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Seriously, there's some days I have to kind of remind her how good she is. You know, and the great thing about having Tori and Ashley together on the same team is they push each other in workouts, and it's competitive every day, and it's really, you know, iron sharpens iron, and they're really both getting better at the same time.
Sometimes when athletes hear that, they go, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this. I don't need to work as hard." I'm sure you don't have that mentality.
Definitely running has taught me that you have to work your hardest every day, which I think is something that's a good tool that goes into your day-to-day life, not just in your sports life. So
it's a humbling event, right?
It is a very humbling sport.
Yeah, it is crazy. And now, you know, I asked everybody, you know, cross country, track and field. I'm guessing if you were to choose one, would it be cross country, or?
Depends on the day, I think.
Okay.
Sometimes running 3 miles at a slightly slower pace is better, and then sometimes you're like, I just want to get it over with and do the mile.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be doing a lot different running than Ashley, because you're going to be going to UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Weather's different there as compared to Nebraska. Does that play in the mix at all?
For me or for her?
For you, for athletes?
I think so. You know, it depends upon quality training time. You know, a place like Santa Barbara, you don't miss days because of snow or rain. You know, we're blessed with that here in JSerra, you know, Southern California. But at the same time, a place like Nebraska has outstanding facilities. So they're going to have a great indoor track. They're going to have great, you know, weightlifting stuff. I mean, state-of-the-art stuff. So they kind of balance, you know, the weather versus like the bigger tradition.
Yeah. And your thoughts about this sport mentally? It is a tough sport. It really is. And obviously you're a great athlete. Why do you think you have that mental toughness to do this sport?
I actually recently heard the saying, runners callous their feet, but they also callous their brain, which is very true. You kind of get, over time, when you first start, it's agonizing, and you're like, why did I do this? But then over time, it almost becomes meditative. And I think one of the keys to becoming good at running or learning to accept the sport is being able to just like clear your mind and then enjoy it instead of freaking out about what you're doing.
Yeah. Speaking about freaking out, I don't want you to, you know, you're a day-to-day person, right? Which is, I wish I was that way, you know. I'm always thinking, oh my goodness, you know, but your thoughts about a goal. What goal do you have in mind?
For college running?
Anything.
For anything?
Yeah.
I
mean, would you want to be married in 5 years with 3 kids? That kind of, you know, not 3, but you know.
Just want to
that's pretty quick.
build a life that feels happy. To me, it feels good on the inside, doesn't just look good on the outside. I'm a big believer in doing things for myself, not for other people, and having ownership of my goals and everything. I don't want to do things just to please other people or to make it look good, because that's not always the right thing.
So you're for real.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you're a real person. That's good. That's awesome. You know, I wish you the best of luck, and I wish I would have gotten to know you earlier in your high school career. What a fantastic athlete, as all the athletes, Luke, Ashley, Andrew, and Tori, fantastic athletes, also great interview subjects. Of course, Marty Dugard, you can pick him up anywhere on the bookshelves, so make sure you do that, because he's always writing a new book. Coach Marty, thanks a lot.
Paul, thanks very much.
Tori, very nice. You did a great job.
Thank
and
you.
all of our athletes. For this edition of Coach's Corner and for JSerra Catholic High School, I'm Paul Higgins. Thanks for watching.